Hello and welcome to Spark Joy Astrology. My name is Joy and I welcome you to Spark Joy Astrology. There is definitely some sparkiness in the cosmos lately, friends. Speaking of that, I think that is the lightning guard a warning because it's about to rumble in the heavens. There it is, friends. There is rumbling happening. If you have not watched my video on Venus retrograde, please, one video back, go check that out. There is a big rumbling in the cosmos when it comes to a revolution around love, friends, and Chiron followed suit yesterday when Chiron went retrograde at 6:42 a.m. on Sunday morning. That would have been July 23rd. And Chiron will be going backwards, looking like it's going backwards to our vantage point on Earth until December 26th, 2023. So with Venus retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Neptune, and now Chiron, the asteroid of the wounded healer, we are definitely doing some internal renovations, friends. So let's dive into the aspects. I am going to speak to yesterday's astrology since I took Sunday off, but really I did not take Sunday off. I actually had one of the most powerful days of, well, I shouldn't say of my life. I've been having a lot since I went to that retreat. But yesterday, here on this lawn, I made a video for my Instagram after I meditated and cleaned out my chakras in a way I've never done it before and paid extreme gratitude and honor to my experience a few weeks ago in Mexico, where I took all of my little items that I was gifted on that retreat and put them on my yoga mat before I started. And friends, I posted that video of me flowing, and then today a friend of mine said, "Hey Joy, did you see towards the end of that video there is some sort of little light floating into the back of your heart? It reminds me of Avatar." And so I went and checked it out, and oh my God, friends, there is some magic happening in this particular video. So please go find my link in my bio to go to my link tree and go to Instagram and watch my most recent video towards the end, after I go into Fallen Triangle and then into Full Wheel. This lovely little mushroom character, after I zoomed in, I was able to see this mushroom shape, is floating into the back of my heart. It is very strange, friends, but I can tell you that I had one of the most profound meditations prior to this, where I was paying homage to the psilocybin gods, or as in Mexico, they call it the flesh of the gods. This particular medicine really has opened me up in ways I never thought possible, and I know that it has 100% to do with the indigenous people that led this ceremony. My heart is open, and Venus going retrograde on Mary Magdalene's Day, I was so in love with the day, friends. I went into nature and I could feel yin and yang, this incredible union. I felt like I was in a giant orgasm. It was pretty amazing. So I was tuned into this Mary Magdalene Jesus energy for 48 hours. And then I made that video, and then here comes this beautiful floating mushroom fairy. Oh my God. Oh, that was fun. I hung that up so it wouldn't be in the view, but apparently it needs to be there. So yeah, a lot has been happening, profound things in my life, and I know that these events have been initiated with the use of indigenous ceremonies through psilocybin and cacao. So, oh my gosh, friends, check that out. It has something to do with the journey we're on, which is healing the yin and the yang within us so that we feel like a walking orgasm at all times. That is the mission. I got the download yesterday and I'm here to share it with you. Go check out my video if you want to see it, where I don't even know. I don't know, but it's awesome. So, okay, let's dive into the aspects. So yesterday at 6:42 a.m., following Mary Magdalene's feast day and the retrograde of Venus, who is at the finger of God, Chiron, and at 19 degrees of Aries goes retrograde. He will be going retrograde until December 26th, right after Christmas. So how beautiful with these Mary and Jesus energies that Chiron would go direct the day after Christmas. There is some potent magic afoot, friends. But Chiron represents the wounded healer. His mythology is that he was a centaur, but not just any centaur. He was brought into the world from the greatest pain. His father was a god who raped his mother. And when he was born, his mother wanted nothing to do with him. And so the greatest wound right off the bat, right? Not being wanted by your two parents. And unfortunately, Chiron was not the typical centaur where he has a horse body and a human head. He had two front legs that were human and two hind legs that were horses. So he didn't really fit in with the centaurs. He didn't fit in with the humans. So he was always kind of alone. He is the woundedness within us, this isolated energy within us. And so what our lovely centaur teaches us is that he moves through his life and heals himself. He works on looking at those deep parts within himself and trying to give them love, to alchemize them. Through this journey, he learns so much and becomes a very valuable teacher. He taught Achilles, there's a few, but I can't think of them right now. But he was a very important teacher for the mythology's characters. So very, very potent in creating a lot of energy towards success in all of these characters' lives. So he is definitely this portal of compassion and wisdom and value. And as it goes retrograde, we are given the green light from the cosmos to really go inward, right? Anytime a planet or asteroid is retrograding, it means that we need to focus that attention inward. So now with this magnifying glass inside of us, we can really look at the wounds and the pains, the wounds within us that we must heal, friends. And a quote by Rumi really, I think, encapsulates Chiron's energy so well, and that is, "The wound is where the light enters." Oh, so true. And so now, friends, we have the opportunity to let the light enter. And with Venus retrograde, it can be a lot of themes around money, around our love and relationships, around creativity and expression. So Chiron being the wounds and the pains associated with all of that. And I'm tying Venus together because it was within 24 hours that they went retrograde together. So another hint that this particular Venus retrograde is so powerful when it comes to relationships. Okay, so another fun fact about Chiron is that his glyph is represented by a little K with a long tail and a circle. It looks just like a skeleton key, which, friends, they can unlock any door, right? But this particular skeleton key, the Chiron key, unlocks the cellar door to our deepest, darkest pains, right? So we're able to look at our insecurities and our sensitivities with a whole new healing, magnifying glass to heal our egos, because this is an Aries, looking at that, our identities, our authenticity. This is all going to be food for fodder for Chiron during these next few months. So definitely enter into this portal, friends, with awareness that we are looking at the wounds to allow the light to enter. Okay, yesterday at 3:35 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Venus trined the North Node. Whew, that's some beautiful thunder right there. Yes, thank you for that thunder. As Venus trines the nodes, we get a drum roll. This is a really beautiful energy where we are attracting good things. But because Venus just went retrograde, maybe those good things are internally, friends. They're internal. So establishing this internal harmony right off the bat, the moon is, or rather Venus is alchemizing with the north nodes and asking us to awaken into our purpose and into our mission. It's very much attracting people, significant relationships into our life, with Venus trining the north nodes. So as we enter into a retrograde, maybe these significant people are people from the past that we still need to work karma out with. So, you know, with all of these retrogrades happening, we are most definitely going to be saying hello to old characters from our story. Retrogrades bring in old stories to be healed. Okay, so at 3:39 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Mercury squares Uranus. Mercury is how we communicate, how we analyze information. It is the hustle and bustle energy of like commerce, but people coming together and communicating. And when it is squaring, which is a challenging aspect, Uranus, who is all about rebellion and revolution and revelations, we have some dramatic energy. There can be some dramatic insights that we glean here, right? Or some, because Uranus is kind of this rebel energy, we could come into some unusual thinking patterns or communication, some strange conversations. But you know, this is definitely a big picture view. When Mercury, who represents our mind, and Uranus, it's the higher octave of our mind, come together, we are able to step back and become the observer of our life and really see the big perspective. This is a moment for some breakthroughs to come through because Uranus is that lightning bolt energy. And I do believe, friends, that this is about the time that I was really getting into a deep meditation and cleansing each one of my chakras before I went into that yoga flow and channeled some beautiful energy, which attracted that little friend. I don't even know, but wow, please go check it out. I'm still in awe. My friend just told me this about an hour ago, so I'm still fresh into finding that out. Okay, so now we move into today, Monday, July 24th at 3:30 p.m. The moon at 19 degrees of Libra. So we're working with alchemizing into balance with Libra energy, was an opposite Chiron. Opposite meaning 180 degrees apart from Chiron, which is a challenging, tense aspect, but it's asking us to reevaluate. There's a push and a pull. So where are we lacking? Where are we strong? But between Chiron, our wounded healer, who is now officially retrograde, and the moon is basically checking in, right? Our emotional nature is like, all right, you just went retrograde. How you feeling, friends? And you know, this is a big check-in because 2 minutes before Chiron went retrograde. So he went retrograde at 6:42 a.m. Oh, so I guess it's 2 minutes after he went retrograde. We had Mercury conjoin Black Moon Lilith. Powerful conjunction right after Chiron went retrograde. This is our psyche giving us the full access, door open to the unresolved crap. The fear within us can fully be looked at. And so with this empowering aspect right after the retrograde of Venus and Chiron, we're really able to identify some fear that needs to be taken out. So with the next with the moon opposite Chiron, we're able to see the pain, and you know, it might be standing in the way of our security, and take stock of that. Look at the fears, see the insecurities around them. They should be triggered with this particular aspect, and it's an ideal time to actually face these traumas and fears. Empower yourself with this retrograde to go inside, friends. Chiron is asking us to talk to our inner child, where so many wounds are created, right? Childhood is the beginning of the pattern setting in our lives that we revisit and rework out these patterns of challenge. They're also from past lives as well, so it's very multi-layered. But forgiveness is possible with ourselves and other people that have inflicted pain and trauma through this retrograde. It is where we make our wounds into strengths, friends. So the moon opposite Chiron at 3:30 p.m. is really asking us to take a look at those wounds and to shine a light upon them. Okay, this next aspect is between Black Moon Lilith at 7:42 p.m. The moon is sextile Black Moon Lilith, and she's at 22 degrees of Leo, right where all the action with Venus retrograding is taking place. So here we go. The moon sextiling Black Moon Lilith will bring in the ability for you to easily express your fears. Black Moon Lilith represents the spectrum of sovereignty or broken. You either have the ability to heal or be destroyed with this particular energy. So we're able with a sextile, which is a aspect by the nature of Venus, to get in and massage out any fears that we need to look at. So this could bring in our truest desires also as we look at these fears and maybe are able to see past them into the actuality that they are leading us into our biggest, truest desires. So allowing any suppressed emotion to come up and out, and to really allow your instincts to lead you, to follow them, even if it means rejecting the status quo. Black Moon Lilith is definitely about sovereignty, and that means wholeness. And oftentimes our society and these patterns that have been set up for us are not in full support of that. So don't be afraid to break out of some boxes, friends. You know, well, actually, we're feeling it right now from July 18th to August 9th, because Uranus moves slowly and so does Black Moon Lilith. We are working with this energy that won't be exact until July 30th, but it is Black Moon Lilith squaring Uranus. We're feeling it, and it's an awakening energy. It is asking us to break us open so that we can be freed from these programmings that don't actually serve our authentic nature. Whew, some big stuff, as always, that we are rolling with here in the cosmos, but it has been extra potent this last week and a half. So sending you oh so much love. Tomorrow we will be looking at the aspects of the day. One teaser is the moon sextiling Mercury. Mercury, you know, he was checking in with Uranus. Tomorrow he's going to sextile our moon and make sure that we're feeling good. This energy of tomorrow is definitely good for speaking to those that you love, having conversations that maybe you've been fearful to have thus far. So reach out, friends. The energy is ripe for it. The rain is coming down now. I love you so much and hope that you're having an orgasmic day. Lots of love. Mwah.